I have a master's in social work, and so I am a social worker by trade. I've been in practice almost 40 years, and I've been doing psychotherapy all over the world. I've had a practice in Japan and in Montana and in India, and now I'm back here in the Bay Area. So it's very different environments and a lot of learning over a long lifetime.
Nice. And what kind of clients did you see?
I see adults, I see couples and individuals, I see people dealing with just about every kind of challenge that a human being can come up against.
Mm-hmm.
I call what I do transformational counseling,
Okay.
which means that we all have situations and challenges in our lives, and often we see them as negative and as traumas that need to be forgotten or not dealt with, whereas I see them as the seeds of living a better and a deeper life. People who rise to the challenge of their traumas usually come out on the other side much stronger and healthier and clearer people. A wonderful example of this is Gabby Gifford, the congresswoman who was shot several years ago and who has come through that, put her life back together, and is now leading the gun control movement in the United States. So that's the kind of thing that can happen when somebody really turns their challenges into transformations.
And you just kind of facilitate that process?
Yes.
Help people think a certain way and get them to overcome those?
Look at what the challenge is, look at the emotions that are there, look at the pictures that are trapped and the things we keep going over and over again. And by bringing those up to consciousness, we can then free ourselves of them.
Okay. So what is, well, first of all, how long have you been working at MBI Wellness Center?
At the Wellness Center, I've been here since November.
Okay, okay. And now, what is it that you typically do when someone comes in to see you? What is the process like? Yeah.
Okay. The initial process when you come in to see me is an assessment. And what that means is we'll sit down and take a look at where your life is, what challenges are going on, what's going well, what your own spiritual path looks like if you have one, where you feel stuck in your life, what sorts of other problems are going on. So we'll take a nice big general overview on that first session. Then after that, we will decide which issues we want to tackle and how we want to tackle them. And I usually work in 45-minute sessions, sometimes with contact in between.
Oh, I see. And is there any like homework you give your clients, your patients, or are they supposed to do certain things?
If you just saw me for 45 minutes a week, nothing much would change. So yes, at the end I suggest practices, or it may be as simple as just breathing. For many of my clients who are very anxious and uptight, simply remembering to breathe 4 or 5 times a day can make a world of difference. For other clients, it may be to paint a picture of where they're stuck right now. For other clients, it might be to write a poem or to start journaling about some of the things that are happening so they can catch the patterns that are repeating themselves over and over.
I see.
Because it all comes from our underlying belief system that we unconsciously run our lives by. So my work helps you make that conscious, bring it up and change it if it needs to be changed, and strengthen it if it needs to be strengthened.
Okay. And how do you see how this fits in with this integrated wellness model that we have here at the clinic?
Well, I'm dealing with the emotional and the mind part and how that interrelates. If somebody has, for instance, diabetes, there is a big emotional component of that, often sadness and depression, and also some anger. And so pulling that up, there's also a lot of resistance because diabetes requires major changes in your lifestyle, and none of us want to do that easily. So it requires starting to work with those resistances and finding a path that really transforms you and feels good, and diabetes turns from being a nightmare into a gift.
I see. Yeah, because there's many health issues that obviously have a mind component of it. This, understanding that what your mind thinks, there's a physiological response to it.
Absolutely.
So you can't just treat the body without, if there's any obstruction occurring in the mind, it's just going to hamper healing, right?
You're absolutely right.
Basically what you do is you kind of address that aspect of it.
Yes.
other providers kind of do their thing.
And then we get together and make
Yeah.
sure that the whole person is being addressed, that we can reinforce what's happening on all the levels. And in fact, we have an integrating piece also, which is a group on Tuesday nights that's called the Transformational Journey.
Okay, you want to talk a little bit about that, what that's about?
Yeah, in that journey, we're talking about, it's a chance for our clients to come together and integrate what they're learning from all the different sources. The Bay Area has more spiritual and alternative healing than anywhere else in the world, I think, at this point,
Wow.
which is why I'm glad to be back here. But often my clients are overloaded. They've gone through several different things. They've tried half a dozen. It gets in the mind, but it doesn't get into the heart. And so they don't know quite how to use it, or they forget about it after a while. So the group is a chance to bring all that back up, integrate it, find a new way to use it, see how other people are handling the excitement of being on the journey that we're here to facilitate.
And it's like a class setting, right?
More of a group setting.
A group
We're not going to teach you as much as integrate what's already there.
I see.
This is you celebrating your journey, not us teaching you.
And then you do the is it called root healing?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, is that like a special category of?
Transformational
Yeah.
counseling, it certainly is.
Okay.
Root healing was founded by a man named James Keeley, and its purpose is to help identify what's keeping you from living an inspired life, the one you really want to live. And once you've identified some of that, then walking more closely with God or with the divine to actually begin to actualize that. So it is a method you learn to use yourself. While I start people on it, it's something you can sit down. If you get up this morning, Dan, and you say, I'm not happy today, I don't want to go to work, you can immediately do a root healing on yourself. Okay, what's my situation? I don't feel good, my stomach's aching, I'm grumpy, I want to fight with my wife. Then you can look a little deeper and say, okay, so who do I become when I'm in this situation? I'm not myself, because myself is happy and excited and ready to work, so I become this somebody very different. So why do I think I have to be this lesser person because I bumped up against this situation? So let's go in and explore all these things and see if we can change that, so you can learn how to free yourself from it and come back to that inspired being that you really are.
Okay, great. So it all makes sense. Sounds like that's something a lot of patients can benefit from. I think that's the missing ingredient, in the medical care that we see at large in the country. There's not enough focus on what's happening inside.
I agree with
which
you.
drives everything. It drives our actions. It drives what you decide to eat and do to your body, and these kind of things. So that's great.
And finding those can be tremendously positive. It may be places you're stuck with, terrible things that happened in your past, but all of that can be transformed, and you walk out of here happy and fulfilled, instead of, I have to go through this and my life was so tough and I've got this terrible disease. It's like, no, I can really make something of these ingredients.
So the key word is transformation.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. All right, Ann, well, thanks a lot. And,
thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. So do you want to tell us about your availabilities?
Yes. I'm in the clinic Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. All day, those 4 days. Our group is on Tuesday night from 6 to 8.
Tuesday night, 6 to 8. Okay, great.
So you can find me then, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Sounds good.